Marhaba Hamza, how are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for waiting for me. Sorry, I was just connecting my thing. How's it going?
Um, yeah, we're starting now, Hamza. Welcome on
Come
behalf of Sabil and our Kumi friends, our dedicated Kumi community. We want to welcome you. You're from Jerusalem, but actually you're traveling at the moment.
Yes,
Yes?
I am not in Jerusalem at the moment. Yes, I am traveling, and I could barely find the time to do it myself in one place to be with you guys. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for being with us. So Hamza, you're in the region or you're in a different time zone?
No, I am in the close time zone. I'm in Europe. I'm in Monaco at the moment.
Nice, nice. Um,
Yes, yeah.
so welcome, friends, to another Sabil week where we update you on the situation, what's happening in Palestine as a whole. Ironically, the logic of it, we said that this is like the beginning of the end of the school year, the beginning of the summer. People are traveling more as families and so on. Ironically, today is like we have lots of rain in Jerusalem. And it's not like the weather is cold. It's more like the weather in the UK. So if you've been to the UK and you know how the weather is there, it feels like Palestine is part of the UK weather. So a part of this being, it's a little bit ironic today. I have to admit that I met Hamza fairly recently. Hamza is a young Palestinian, and in a way, he's similar to many Palestinians. He's from Jerusalem, but every Palestinian has a unique story. That's the nature of living under occupation, being part of the whole Palestinian narrative. However, Hamza is also he's an entrepreneur. He's a person of visions, extremely creative, extremely passionate about what he's doing. And he's like the Palestinian people, always swimming against the tide. So that makes him very interesting. But also, even though that he faces many difficult waves, but definitely I can tell you that it's improving his swimming abilities and his muscles. And I'm sure one day he will cross every ocean that he will face. So Hamza, thank you for being with us today. So, Hamza, you were not born in Jerusalem. You were born in Saudi Arabia. Am I correct? Or
Yes,
why
yes.
don't
I
you
was
give us a little bit a background on who you are as Hamza?
sure. Uh, Hello, everyone, again, and thank you for having me today. Although I don't really understand what be expecting from me, but either way, I'm here to share what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, and a bit about my story. So yes, I was born in Saudi Arabia, and I got most of my education there, all of it actually. I've always been a Palestinian because my parents are Palestinian. Both of them are from Jerusalem, and lucky enough to be having to carry an Jerusalem ID, which gives me access to the land wherever I want to go. And even though it was only limited to a few visits and like a few weeks in the summer, usually when we when now my family would come to Palestine and like meet the family and everything. Fortunately, that's not enough to really understand what it means to be a Palestinian or understand the narrative or how things go there. But after my graduation from architecture school, I'm an engineer. I'm an architectural engineer, and I got my education from Al Faisal University in Riyadh. And after my graduation, I decided to come to Jerusalem. Actually, it wasn't my first time coming here. I came in 2010 because I had to keep my Jerusalem ID. I had to do 2 years here, and I did 2 years in Birzeit, and then I moved to Riyadh, and I finished my education there. But my plan was to come here for 1 year, and given my background in engineering, I was working in rehabilitation projects, restoration and rehabilitation of monuments and sites in the old city of Jerusalem. And to me, I was fulfilling my passion there. Anyway, part of the job is documenting the sites that we work on, and I found my passion towards old buildings, and that was what I wanted to do. I worked for a few houses in the old city, and I managed I managed the project of rehabilitation of a few museums as well. But then I had the idea that I'm lucky to be here, and after a while, I was able to comprehend part of my identity, or like at least like fill a small gap in my soul, because you always know that you're from one place, but you can never be there. Anyway, so I got the idea to capture those experiences that I lived, and to share them with a lot of my friends who are not very fortunate like I am, and many people who wish to be in this place and cannot. So it kind of aligned within my professional field, and that's where I started. I started from there, thinking that all these 3D models that we create for the buildings, they can be shared, and we can find a way to get people to access them from different places around the world. But then the idea changed, and then we had the pandemic, which made us change the idea a little bit. Anyway, so I quit architecture, I quit my job 3 years ago. I was working with UNRWA in camp infrastructure and restoration work. Anyway, I started this studio called 16 Baker Street, and it started from the quarantine. It is actually our quarantine location. Me and my friends was in 16 Abu Bakr Siddiq, Sheikh Jarrah, and that's where it all started. We had this idea, and we just went for it. And it's been 3 years now, and the idea changed a lot. And now I'm fully focused on Zamakan, which is the startup that is in virtual tourism, and I'm all in there now. Memories in Palestine is a project under this startup, and it is the first project we're doing. So we're developing our product while we implement this project, and our project aims to give access to all the Palestinians or others who wish to see Palestine but cannot due to political, geographical, financial, or health reasons. And that's what I'm doing now. We are trying to cover all Palestine, trying to shoot 360 content and exhibit them in different cities around the world. That's what we're working on now. Sorry if I took too long to talk. I can talk for days if you let me.
No, that's good. That's a good to stay with our community who can listen for this, I think. So, I mean, it's usually logically, when people think that there's a conflict zone, people try to avoid it, find a more peaceful zone, especially younger people and so on. So, like, you're one of the, I mean, it's a blessing that you're not part of a minority, but many Palestinians are always looking for a way back to our homeland. Even though that it's a conflict zone, it's a place with problems, they want to be present. Like, why is Palestine even an option for you?
Why is it an option?
Yeah, if you can help the audience to understand why it's an option, or it's a preferred option even.
Okay, for me being in Palestine is still against my father's will. My father believes that I have better opportunities working in the Gulf region mainly. My dad is based in Dubai, and he works development, real estate development in Dubai. And he thinks that logically people go to university in Palestine and work in the Gulf and don't do the opposite. And he still insists on this vision. But to me, it's different, and it's changed. When I first found my motivation to do this, I'm gonna sound crazy, but I promised myself I would change the world one day, or I would at least die trying. But I like, to be realistic. I know that's a big dream, but I told myself that if I promise myself one thing, that every step I take in life has to be only in that direction. Not directly, even if not directly, but it shouldn't be the other way, like away from that. And as I said, when I first came to Jerusalem, my plan was 1 year, understand it, understand what's happening, so I can comprehend better and be able to help better. But that 1 year has become 6.5 now, and now my reasons are different. My reasons for still being here or in Jerusalem, yani, have changed. To me, I think I have this theory, or the way I feel is that Palestine is the only free country in the world, and not the other way around. To me, I see it in a very, very weird narrative. I think it's the most free country in the world, and it's the only free country in the world. And that is because at least we know that we're occupied. And I think that makes a huge difference, like living in a surrounding that understands this. And we're lucky in our case because like our occupier doesn't look like us and they don't speak the same language, and it's very obvious what's dark and what's not. And things are very clear in Jerusalem. And I prefer it that way, even though it's hard, even though it might be very limiting to my opportunities in other places. But that's what I think now, and this is what's keeping me there. And I try to get my friends back. Like I've managed to get one guy I know from the Gulf back, and he was also unfortunate that life has put him in situations that he has to go back to Jerusalem, and it was against his will as well, and he didn't want it. But now he's been here for 3 years, and he thinks it's also the best thing that ever happened to him. So I'm glad that thing is working. Anyway, so that's is my
Yeah,
my
but
answer.
I mean, we need to have some clarification, because this is where if we don't want somebody like to cut this to say that Sabil is saying that Palestine is the only free country in the world. We still recognize that there's an occupation, but I mean, it's just the
I know, I
spirit.
know, I know, I know.
Yeah, it
I
is.
understand.
It's and I think the audience understands it. So when we talk about Palestine, and when we talk about, it is this small piece of land, many people find it very important, and many people are interested in seeing it. And sometimes, whether we like it or not, we get defined by two major categories. One is definitely the religious significance of it. This land is seen as very holy for Christians, Muslims, Jews, but it's also in a way defined by the political situation. It's a place of conflict, and many people only understand the importance of this location because it's the central issue when we speak about the Arab-Israeli conflict struggle, the struggle of the Palestinian people. So that is by itself two major stories, and anyone who's trying to show a different narrative, it's very difficult. The narrative of the people, the narrative of the communities, the narrative of the steadfastness. What narratives are also not being shown when people think about Palestine?
Okay, of course, when I came here, I wondered a lot about this, like why this place, and it's not the most beautiful land or the most fertile land or the most I don't know, like geographical, tactical location. I'm not sure what it is, but to me, I wondered, like it's been 10,000 years of struggle. Why this land? And this was the first question I asked myself, like, why are all these people fighting all over these places? And the world is big, and people can go anywhere, and they can be anywhere, and they can just start a settlement anywhere. But I thought about this a lot, and yes, it is the religious significance of the place, even historically. If we don't think of Palestine as a whole, specifically Jerusalem, there was nothing there that can be done, not even an advantage in agriculture or water or anything that they have been manufacturing that could really start a settlement there. It was only one spring of water and a few fields. We were talking about 3,000 or 5,000 years ago. So why this place, even before religions, as we know them, before Judaism, before Christianity, before Islam, for some reason, people would come and they would exit the city walls and they would go to that mountain and they would worship whatever God they used to worship, and they would do it in this place for some reason. And why would they do that? And what is this holiness or sacredity of a place that can pass from one religion to the other, you know? Like if a religion comes, it would include this site in a way or another. If people are worshiping the moon, they would worship it from this place. If they're worshiping any place, they worship it from this place for some reason. And I still don't know. But how that helps us, it helps us understand why people would be coming here, because the industry that is surviving here, and the only thing that can survive in this place is tourism, because people won't stop coming to this place for whatever reason it is that they pursue, but they'll keep coming here, and I don't think that will stop anytime soon. But to answer the question, why, I still don't know, but I understand that that a lot of people are not allowed to, even though they are longing for it, or they want it very badly. And I see an opportunity, because I know I can be of help in this, like fulfilling this need, or giving these people something that they want. I think it's something that I can like be able to do, and that's what I care about this moment.
Hamza,
Yes.
I see some of the comments in the chat that, like, I know COVID has been a great experience for many people, training to understand, I mean, the possibilities of using technology to see a country and so on. I know that you're traveling and you don't have your laptop with you, but could you like show people like firsthand what the work is that you're talking about, virtual tours or?
Okay, I can try, but I can explain it in a very easy way. There are two kinds of, let's say, virtual tour content that we create. The first is more for professional use, which is basically laser scanning a building, which will give us millimeter accuracy. And what it does, it allows people to walk freely inside that place, whether from a VR console or a screen. And the second is very simple, just 360 immersive video. So we take a video from different angles and we stitch them together, and that's what we're trying to do. It's very hard to show you on the screen right now, especially without my laptop. But we still don't have any development done towards our like where we want to go. We want to be an app that can cast from mobile to a VR, but we're nowhere there yet. Right now, we're focusing only on producing narrated and not narrated 360 videos of all the sites that are of importance in Palestine, as you mentioned, the historical and religious. So we conducted a list of the sites that we want to create virtual tours in, and basically we're going to start by showcasing those tours to our audience by exhibitions, while we develop the app that can allow them to see them from anywhere. That's basically what I can do. But what you can do is you can go to zamakan.app. The website has 15
Could
sites.
you mention it again, please?
Zamakan.app, ZAMAKAN.app.
Could you write it in the?
I can.
So these tours will be for like specific cities, for the whole country, for specific locations in the cities, or how do like what tours get picked or chosen?
Yes, right now we're picking. It's not a matter of picking or not. It's a matter of we are in this doing this right now. We are prioritizing our list right now and identifying the sites that get that get to be in the list or not. Of course, all the sites of the religious importance, because like our selection is purely based on numbers. What do people want to see when they come here? And that is the first part of the project. So the main cities, main attractions, main historical stories, main religious and biblical sites, all those. And the other side is more of something that we do without a plan. It's more of an open call to refugees. Like if someone sees our call and decides there's a specific place he wants to see in Palestine, like a village that he's been, like his family was displaced from or something, that our team might go there and do an experience for that guy, like specifically for that person. So
Is
it's
there
like
a requirement, like people need to vote or so on, so that there's like a certain demand that you do it, or you do it like on a personal, like?
I haven't thought about this yet. We don't have that high demand right now, but yes, of course, I mean, the villages that have the biggest number of people who want to see it will get selected first, unless we have like a personal request or something. We still haven't thought of the metrics of selecting this. It's still just a form that people fill and tell us where they want to see.
Maybe we do it once for our community over here. We could have something arranged. I know that you've done it also with different projects and so on. We could, like, if maybe people could write us and we see which is the most demand place. Maybe you've done, I know you've done a number of places already. We can, like, if you give us like a choice, maybe we would love to host you and to host a tour. Because I know many of the people who are on this call are already connected with different organizations, different churches, different communities, and can be like great support and good clients, hopefully, inshallah. But
Sure.
something came to my mind while we were talking. So it's because it's nice to have a young Palestinian with us, and in a way, it's Jerusalem is an international city. It's welcomes so many people, a big variety of people come from all around the world to Jerusalem. And it seems to be a very hospitable place, or a place in demand. How hospitable is it for its own people, and especially young people, Hamza, Jerusalem? How easy is it living in Jerusalem?
Again, that last part, how is it? What?
How easy is it to live in Jerusalem, and how hospitable is it for young Palestinians living there?
I would say for young Palestinians, yeah, if you go to the UN handbook of what a human rights life should look like, you wouldn't find much of the elements present there. I wouldn't say it's a place of equal opportunities. It's not, and everyone like kind of understands this. Jerusalem has been always hospitable, and I think that is because of its diversity, because we understand all this diversity from a very long time ago. As I mentioned before, even the religions as we know them emerged, people used to come here for pilgrimage reasons for like, thousands of years, and that caused many people to come from different places. And it is why people here in this, let's say, pool of DNA come from various origins. For example, my family comes like 900 years ago. We come from Granada, from Spain, and everyone has a similar story because it is an international city. But today's situation is very different from the cause of this, let's say, diversity. It's because of the exact opposite. It's because there's a not natural selection happening there, and not equal opportunities happening there. It is a city where the youth live under many, how can I say it, obstacles that are visible and not visible, under frustration, and I'm even trying to do this for my project to create something like 7 realities from Jerusalem to help people understand what is it that they have to go through to be a Jerusalemite. And there is one very important one of them is the controversy. Is the, as I mentioned when I first started talking, is that everything here is clear, that you can see it very clearly, that those people don't look like us, and it's us and it's them, and it's the occupation, and it's easy to spot. But at the same time, it is in everything in life. They are asked to face this controversy almost in everything. If they get a job from no matter how sophisticated the job is or not, they would have limitation because they are from here, and because someone else has an advantage over them, just like it is someone came here from another country to have advantage over this person's presence here. And it is like that in almost everything in life. And there isn't many situations where you don't really think about it, or when it's not present. You go to the beach, it's there. You look, and it's everywhere. You go to the job, it's also everywhere. So this contradiction is found in almost everything, and this is causing people, even in living inside Palestine, to start to have an identity crisis. You would find people trying to blend in there, or trying to blend in here, or trying to just escape. You know, the amount of people who wish they can leave the country is also not very little, and it is because of this hell of a life that's being imposed over them. And when they get the chance to experience life at different place, different experiences, they see how easy life can be, and they see that they don't have to be suffocating to breathe. They would see that they don't have to kick this hard and to grind this hard in order to make it. I don't blame them for never wanting to come back. But it is as what makes me and many people never want to leave is because we are also a very stubborn nation. For some reason, and we are very strong-headed people, and it's because we know that this is not happening naturally. That it's not that life in our country is hell and that's it. So we just cope with it. We know that it is a systematic agenda that's being implemented, and this is exactly the goal behind it. It is designed to make our life miserable and designed to make us want to leave. So this makes us want to stay more, you know, if we understand it. I don't know if that answered the question or not.
No, it did. We have actually some good recommendations. There's people who said they said about the Tent of Nations. I don't know if you know the Tent of Nations. It's a piece of land to the south of Bethlehem. And in a way, it captures the whole story of Palestine. It's a family that is trying to preserve its property that they have the land deeds from Ottoman times, and it's under threat of confiscation. And they've been back and forth for decades with the Israeli government. And many people have become aware of this case, and that might be really a very interesting it's a place similar to no other to any other place in Palestine, but it carries the same story of every place in Palestine. We know the family; they're very nice people. Maybe we could also cooperate. I think that would be an excellent tour for. It's nice because from there you can see actually Gaza. You can also see, or I mean, it's parts of Gaza, and you can also see the Mediterranean Sea, and you can see Bethlehem and Jerusalem. It's a nice place. I know many of the people are already on the call have visited this place. Others are also saying Amwas. Amwas is a nice place, and it's one of the 3 depopulated villages of 1967 war. So it has a story. It also has its religious significance, and it's also a very interesting place because it's Amwas also it's with advocacy. There's the Canada Park where the Canadian government planted hundreds of trees or thousands of trees in that park. There's a million story for every corner in our land. Yes, Gaza would be interesting. I don't know how difficult it is. I know some people have done some virtual tours to Gaza. I don't know, Hamza, I don't think you're able to go to Gaza. But do you have people who would work with you in Gaza?
We are actually working on that. We have a few photographers who are interested in doing it. We are trying as hard as we can because it would be amazing if we can have Gaza on the platform as well. We're trying everything to do it. But I think the struggle would be to get the 360 equipment into Gaza, especially in the current circumstances. So what seems to be impossible is to find this equipment that we need in Gaza, even for rental, or find a way to get it in. But yes, people who are willing to help are already working on it. Inshallah, we'll be able to do it. Inshallah.
Inshallah. I mean, it's pretty. I mean, it's pretty weird. The whole country is a very small country, but Palestinians from Gaza cannot leave Gaza. Palestinians in the West Bank cannot Jerusalem, or Gaza. The people of Jerusalem can go into the West Bank, not everywhere, but can go into Gaza. No one can go inside, visit the Palestinians inside the state of Israel. It's a whole combination. It's like we're so much fragmented and divided, which makes it very difficult. So I mean, it's part of it. You don't have to reach out to Palestinians in the diaspora. This project would be also sadly relevant for Palestinians living in Palestine.
Yes,
In
yes,
historic
100%.
Palestine.
100%. And this is exactly what's helping us. Well, I can't say helping us, but this is why our tests in the country or inside of the West Bank have been excellent, because we have our target audience even here, the diaspora, not only outside of Palestine. We have also here 3 million people living in the West Bank who a big fraction of them have never seen the sea in their life, even though they come from a city which is on the beach and on the sea. They've never seen it before, and they have these dreams of ever seeing one sunset on the beach, not only in Palestine, anywhere. We do have realities like that. We are a small nation, and it's super weird that we are only less than 14 million people scattered everywhere around the world. But if we look at our identities, we have more than 1 million identities because of all the different stories and all the different realities, which is also a good place for us to think about all these issues and to come up with solutions for them, or try at least.
Hamza, but you're also a part of the work that you're doing. My understanding is that you've been on a number of boards and you're active within the community. Do you want to tell us about this aspect of your life?
Yes, I am right now. I'm active in the entrepreneurship field. So not only do I have like a small or shy experience in entrepreneurship myself as an entrepreneur with my startups, but I like it, and finding solutions for things that work is what I have passion for, which is why I do run a lot of innovation activities like bootcamps, hackathons, events where I help people think about their projects, or I mentor a few startups here and there. I'm a board member at Station J, which is an innovation hub in Jerusalem. But I'm not very involved in the moment because I'm working on my startup full time. But when I have time, this is what I like to do. I find myself covering a small niche, which is the bridge between engineering and art. Is a big problem for those who understand in engineering or art. Usually, the communication between the marketing team and the engineering team, or design team and the engineering team, is very difficult. It's hell to deal with. I find myself exactly there because I am an architectural engineer, so I'm half a tech nerd and half an artist, so I can bridge that very well, and I know how to tell a good story. So this is exactly where I help people to identify their unique value, let's say, and how to show it and work on it, or at least I try. Because I like it. It keeps me thinking, and it keeps my mind working, and it gives me a bit of a high feeling when I come up with a solution. So I'm half an addict for that.
So Hamza, for people who would want to follow you or follow updates on the work and the projects that you're doing, how can they do this?
Right now, they can follow us on Instagram, and that is Memories from PS, because our old one got stolen. But I can share it here as well. I can write everything.
Yeah, please do. Please do.
And if you can, if they can, I'm working on an email list that I want to keep sending updates. It helps me as well keep myself motivated to share the updates. So I'll add whoever wants to this mailing list, and I'll start sending updates to them. But usually everything is on social media or on the website, or that's the plan. We plan to put everything on social media and to update the website on like continuously. And you can follow me on LinkedIn, of course. If anyone wants to, I can also share that with you.
Yeah, please do. We will share it in the chat, but we will also share it with the general email list, encouraging people to get in touch or to get. I mean, it's to be better informed about the work that Hamza is doing, and this growing space of visiting Palestine or learning about Palestine and the treasures inside Palestine using technology or benefiting from technology. We're welcoming people to write questions in the chat if people are interested to ask some questions. I usually do a very good job in asking questions, but people also get bored from me. So people are asking, do you have a website and what is it? And how can we support this wonderful effort?
That is the million-dollar question. How can we support? Omar knows how much we tried to launch something to support the project. And when I first met Omar, I was asking him for help to get like to a way to receive support for this project, because as if I mentioned or not, this is all by our efforts, and it's purely funded by the people. We weren't lucky to get like funded by an NGO or something. Usually they come with their agendas or whatever. So we're 100% crowdfunded. And how you can support us is you can buy our merch. We have like a small donation store that's linked to our website. Also, if you want it itself, it's store.zamakan.app, and it has like a few designs that we created.
So the
with
website
message.
is sorry.
I'll text it. I'll text it on the chat. I did it before. Just 1 second. Okay, so yes, Zamakan.app. This is the donation.
Yeah, Ryan has shared it again on the chat.
Yes. And I just sent the chat itself. Oh, it's just to then to chat. 1 second. Copy. Done. Looks like when I replied to Ryan, I replied only to him, and I thought I sent it to the entire chat. Sorry.
No, you did. Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, it's so here it is on the screen. So that is so the address is zamakan.app. We will send it in the email on Sunday that we send out. There is also a store. Is the store working already on the chat?
Yes, yes. Yes, yes. This is our merch store that we get our support from, basically.
Gifts from Palestine, and if to learn more from the website. It's an interesting website. It's a beautiful website. See, it's my location is set to Palestine. Okay, not planning to change the country.
I hope not. We need you.
No. So, friends, Hamza, we want to thank you. You're on vacation or you're on a trip traveling in Europe. Thank you for dedicating again time to Palestine, to the work that is being done. Thank you for being who you are. Another advocate for justice, another voice for Palestine. That is actually an interesting voice because you're going to be enabling multiple voices to speak for Palestine. So it's nice to have you among us. Keep up doing the good work. And on behalf of everybody who was in the meeting or is in the meeting, we want to thank you, Hamza.
Thank you.
And I hope we'll stay in touch.
With thank you for having me. It was a wonderful opportunity. And thank you for your kind words, Amjad. I don't know what to say to that. I really hope that I live up to to the way you see me. Maybe I really hope so, but I'm doing my best.
You are
Thank
already,
you.
Hamza. Thank you all, and please
Thank you.
support the work of Hamza in any way that you can.
Thank you
Take
so
care.
much, Omar.
Inshallah. See you next week, friends, and see you, Hamza, inshallah, back in Jerusalem when you're back.
Thank you.
Yallah.
Have a good day.
Salam.